guys, it's officially Galentine's, which means we're gonna be reading for 24 hours. We did this last year and had a blast. We read all romance books, so I think we're gonna do the same thing for today. Every time we do 24-hour readathons, we like to split it up into 2 days and read for 12 hours each day and just see how much we can read within that time. So we've cleared out the next 2 days and we're ready to read.
So we have our stack of hopefuls. We know that we want to read Binding 13 today because it just feels right to read it together on Galentine's. But I think we're gonna save this one for later just because it's a thick book and it'll probably take us a good amount of time.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start with a different book first. These are all on my February TBR. So I have Dating Dr. Dill, Expiration Dates, and Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. I think they all sound so good and they're all pink, which is perfect for today.
Those are really cute. I ended up bringing Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute by Talia Hibbert. This one I think would be such a good read. I also have The Pretty Reckless by LJ Shen. I've never read anything by this author, but I've heard good things. And lastly, I did bring Blackout by all of these authors. This one is on my February TBR.
I think I'm going to go ahead and start Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. It's been a while since I've read an Ali Hazelwood book, and I always love her stories, so it just feels right to read this today.
I think I am gonna start with Blackout because it is one of the only ones on my February TBR, and I've been waiting so long to read it. I'm hoping that I love it.
So we have our books picked out and we have all of our snacks laid out in front of us.
Quick snack haul for you. Some Boom Chicka Pop, some Yogis, and we have all of these beautiful Valentine's themed cake pops.
Izzy sent us these and she has her own small business and it's called Sweet Bites Popco and she does custom treats. She's so sweet. She has her own booktube channel and she lives in the Houston area. So if you're around here, definitely check her out. We've already had a few and they are so yummy and we knew they would be perfect for today's Galentine's.
Look how cute they are. She also does all different kinds of like holidays and sports events and stuff. Definitely go check her out. Thank you so much, Izzy, for sending us these. Those are all of our snacks laid out. So we're just gonna go ahead and get started with our first book. We have our timer. We're gonna set it for 12 hours and we're just gonna read and we'll update you guys in a little bit. We've been reading for about 2 hours, so we thought it would be a good stopping point to let you guys know what's going on in our books.
I really like mine so far. So we're following Mallory and she was a chess prodigy when she was a kid, but she kind of stopped playing due to family reasons. And right now she's just focusing on supporting her mom and her sisters, which by the way, I love them so much already. Like all of the side characters of her sisters and her mom and her best friend, they're so like cozy and comforting and just fun to read about. But it does suck because she's so young and she has this like burden of taking care of her family financially. But her best friend ends up convincing her to play in this charity tournament and she ends up defeating Nolan, who is like the hotshot chess player right now. Nolan is the chess champion and a legend in the sport. So her beating him is like a really big freaking deal. So now Mallory's kind of thrown back into this chess world and she just did not intend on that happening, but she's getting so much attention from like sponsors and she's getting tournament invitations and she's obviously caught the eye of Nolan as well. I'm really into it right now and I'm so glad because I think the last Ali Hazelwood book I wasn't like fully locked in, but right now I am loving every second of this.
I'm so glad you're loving your book because I really enjoyed that one. I knew going into this book that basically there's a blackout that happens in New York and we're gonna get a bunch of short stories about different people who are affected by this blackout. What I wasn't expecting was for all of the short stories to kind of be like interconnected, and I'm loving that. The first one we get is Tammy and Kareem, and they are exes. They both applied to the same internship unknowingly, and they're about to find out which one of them got the job when the blackout happens. So now they're just kind of stuck there. They don't know who got it, but they've decided to walk home together, so they're just kind of making their journey across the city. Another story, we have Tremaine and JJ. They've known each other since middle school, but they're not really friends. But Tremaine has claustrophobia, so when the blackout happens, they're both on the subway, and JJ's trying to just like help with the situation. I'm obsessed with their story so far. There's also one that's like Nella and John Joss, they both met at this senior center that Nella's grandfather stays at. They're hitting it off. It's pretty cute. All of these are just so wholesome so far, and the only thing that all of the stories have in common is they're all mentioning like this block party that they're trying to get to. So I'm hoping at the end of it like they all meet up there or something. But I'm like really enjoying this so far. You guys know I don't do the best with normal short stories, but this one just feels different. So I'm so excited. I'm loving it.
You going over it is just reminding me of how much I enjoyed it too. So I'm so glad we're loving our first books. That's it for our first update. We're gonna keep on reading and then we'll see you in our next update.
It's been a couple more hours, so we thought we would stop and give you another update. Mine's still going really well. I'm actually almost done with it. My book was a little bit shorter than I thought it was going to be. We did get to meet some new characters. So we had these childhood best friends, which I'm obsessed with that type of trope. But the girl was basically just trying to find a way to express her feelings towards him. And I just thought that one was so cute. It took place at like a library. That one was really fun. The one I'm currently reading is a school trip, and it's kind of juicy because our main character, Kayla, she has a boyfriend. They've been together forever, but she kind of has a crush on this other guy in her class. So she's trying to like navigate her feelings. I am really interested in this one. I don't know how they're gonna end this book, but like I said, they are still all trying to get to this one party. So I'm hoping we get to see everyone together. I would love to see this as a movie adaptation. I know sometimes we make jokes about how every single book we read gets turned into an adaptation of some sort, but this one would be so sweet. I'd love to see it on the big screen.
Mine is also going well. We're seeing Mallory compete in chess at an elite level. So that's all happening. But then also the romance is very slow burn, which I do like. It feels right for this story. And Nolan and Mallory keep having these little moments because they are at the same tournaments all the time, but they both have their walls up for different reasons. Mallory is very much like not wanting to fall for anybody, and Nolan has never really felt any type of connections for anyone. He's always just been very focused on the game, so he's trying to figure out what are these feelings. I think it's really cute though, and I'm ready to see how it's gonna end.
We've got a lot of time left on the clock, so we're just gonna keep on reading and then we'll let you know when we're done with our first reads. You guys, we are finished with our first reads of the day. It's been about 6 hours, so we have 6 hours left. We both really enjoyed our first reads though. I truly loved every single one of these stories. I am kind of sad that they were so short. I think I would read like full-length novels of some of these people. I loved all of the couples, but I think my favorite short story was of the two boys, and that one was by Nick Stone. So I definitely want to read some more of his books. I also really loved the last short story in here. I believe it was by Nicola Yoon. It was about a girl going to the party, but her ex was going too, so she was trying to go to like show him what he's missing. But she gets into this ride, which is essentially like Lyft or Uber, and her and the driver start talking and getting to know each other. It was so cute. I'm telling you, all of these were so heartfelt and wholesome and cute. So I'm so happy I decided to read it for Galentine's because they're essentially just a bunch of love stories. I'm so happy with this though, and now I'm excited to read Whiteout. Amanda already read it, but it's the same authors that wrote this one. So I'm really excited to read that one now. Amanda can't remember if it's about the same couples in Blackout, so now I'm like very interested to see.
I should have read Whiteout sooner.
Yeah, but I thought this was like a perfect read. I'm gonna give it 4 stars.
I really loved this story, and I think I'm kind of picky with romances just because I've read so many, but this one, I loved every second. The plot was strong. I loved all the characters, loved the romance. Both Mallory and Nolan had so much emotional growth, and they were just both learning to be vulnerable and allow themselves to do whatever makes them truly happy. Every time I read an Allie Hazelwood book, I always want her to make spin-offs of the side characters. I loved it so much. I'm gonna give it a 4 star.
4 stars for both of our first books is insane.
We picked some good ones.
I know. We're thinking since we have 6 hours left, we might just both start finding 13. We also saw it was on Amazon Prime Reading, so we might just download them to our Kindles and read on those because I think the books are so huge that reading on our ebooks might make it easier.
I think I'm gonna try and read on the physical, but I probably won't last long and then I'll have to read on the Kindle.
We're so excited though. I'm kind of nervous.
Me too. This has been a long time coming.
I'm hoping we love it. I'm telling you guys, I have multiple editions of the entire series already. Like, I physically own a bunch of copies of the series, so I'm hoping I love it. There's no time like the present though, so we're just gonna go ahead and get started. We're gonna officially start the Boys of Tommen series. First update of Binding 13. This book is so extremely long. Just looking at the pages, the text is so tiny. There's so many words on one page. It's just something we noticed. So I definitely think I'm gonna have to read on my Kindle just so I feel like I'm reading faster. But I will say we've been chatting a lot amongst each other. I'm so glad that we waited to do our first update because about 80 to 100 pages in, we genuinely were not feeling this book. We were worried just in terms of the storyline and chapters. Everything just kind of feels really drawn out and we weren't expecting that. But now that we're officially like into the book, I'd say we're about like almost a third. We're more familiar with the characters and the story and we're both feeling like, okay, we're enjoying this a little bit more now. We're used to being like in their heads and their point of view. So I'm so happy and I'm glad we didn't do our first update earlier because it would have just been us like not enjoying it at all. I'm glad we waited because I am now into the story.
I knew it was going to be a rugby sports romance, but I guess I just didn't realize that that meant it was going to take place in Ireland. So I wasn't prepared for like the language difference, but I think it's really interesting. And we do have the audiobook playing and it's just crazy to hear their accents. And they say so many things differently than us.
Yeah, I like how in the newer editions of the book, she has a glossary. So there's like a whole 4 pages of what all of these Irish words mean because they say a lot of our things differently. But I love that she included that in the newer editions.
As far as what the story is about, we're following Shannon and she's a very shy and reserved girl. She comes from a difficult home life and she ends up transferring to an elite private school named Tommen, and everything starts to change when she meets a boy named Johnny, and Johnny is a rising rugby star. He's the golden boy of their school. Everyone knows him, everyone loves him, but she doesn't really know anything about him, and he likes that.
It is really cute so far. Since they come from such opposite backgrounds, I think that's why they're attracted to one another. Johnny is trying to kind of avoid her for reasons that you get into in the book, but they do keep bumping into each other and they have mutual friends, so they're always kind of just around each other. I do think now that we realize like it is very character driven and this is kind of just how the vibe is going to be, I think we'll enjoy it more. But I'm excited to see where the story goes.
A lot of people have told us to get the tissues ready and have that second book on hand, so we're ready to see what's going to happen.
We only have about 2 more hours though left on the clock, so we're just going to see how much we can read until then, and then we'll update you guys at the end of today. It's the next day, you guys. We were supposed to update you last night. It didn't happen, but we didn't get too much more read than when we updated you anyway.
I do like it. I love the little friendships that we're getting. I think the romance is a little bit too slow for me, and things just feel a little bit repetitive at times. Like she's bumped into him leaving the bathroom I don't know how many times already. It's just little things like that that's like, we couldn't just do a little something different, you know?
I almost appreciate that because whenever you're in school, every day does look exactly the same. Like you only have so many opportunities to see people in the hall, you know what I mean? Like maybe that is kind of more realistic. I don't know.
If I left the bathroom every single time and like ran into the big jock guy, I'd be like, oh, so we are meant to be together.
That's true. If that happened to me more than like 2-3 times.
And he would have to know it too, because like...
That's fate.
Or would he be like, this girl's just waiting to come out of the bathroom until I'm there?
But why is he standing outside the girls' loo?
So Joey and Aoife are so cute. Gibbsy and Claire are so cute. I see what they're doing.
Me too. Like, I can see where the other couples are coming from.
Oh yeah.
And I'm excited to read about those too.
Me too. I'm ready for Gibbsy's book. He's like Johnny's best friend. Best friend. And I don't know, I think their relationship is really cute.
And Claire is Shannon's friend. One of her only like close friends at Tommen. So very cute. And you could tell that they're into each other, but they don't want to admit it.
And also because Claire's brother is also friends with them. So that one will be giving like brother's teammate, which is hot. I want to see their book next.
I know. Let's get through this one first. We're about like halfway though. That's where we ended yesterday. So we're going to read a little bit more and then we'll update you guys and let you know what's going on.
We've been reading for a couple more hours, so it's time for another update.
This will probably be our last update before we finish, so we wanted to just get our last minute thoughts in. Like Amanda said though, this is super slow burn. Probably one of my first actual slow burn romances, because we're like, what, 65% into the book? And nothing's really happened between them yet. I'm kind of here for that, but I could see why some people might not love slow burn.
As for the plot itself, the romance is still building, but there's a lot of outside things that are happening too, like the school drama. Johnny's ex-girlfriend keeps giving Shannon and Johnny a really hard time. Shannon's home life has been getting a lot worse as well, and Johnny has a big secret that he's trying to keep.
So there's like a lot going on, but at the same time, not much is going on. We have talked about some theories about how we think the book is going to end, because we're waiting for like this big moment that everyone says we're going to be crying at. So we're interested to see if anything that we've predicted is going to happen. But we just wanted to give you like one last update, because the next time we see you, we will have completed this book. So we just wanted to throw some thoughts out. I'm glad we ended up reading this one together though.
Okay, so we're going to finish Binding 13 and we will update you guys when we are done.
We are officially done with book 1 of the Tommen series, Binding 13. It's many hours later. It took us all day to finish. I don't know why. I think since it was the second day, we were chatting a lot more, and since we were reading the same book, we took a lot of breaks to talk about what we thought was going to happen. We're finally done, so we want to give you our final thoughts. I honestly, truly did like it. As far as a character-driven story goes, this was solid. I always talk about how I am very much a plot person. Like, I tend to really need a plot to hook me. But I think since the book was so long, it gave me the chance to actually connect with these characters. Once I was into it, I was into it.
As for our theories about the end, we were actually wrong. I really thought my theory was what was going to happen, but it was not. But I do think the ending set up book 2 pretty well. I think for me though, I'm honestly just ready to get to the other people's stories. I don't know why I thought the next book was going to follow a different couple. I didn't realize the second book was also going to be about Shannon and Johnny, so I kind of thought that we were going to get a little bit of a conclusion in this book, but that's fine. I am interested in continuing their story, but I am so excited to get to the other couple's stories. I think this could have been a shorter book and we still would have had the same emotional impact, but I do like them together. I liked where it left off, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen next.
I do pretty much feel the same way. I cannot wait to read the next book. If they had that next book on Prime Reading, I would have already started it. That's the only thing stopping me. I'm going to continue on with my February TBR, but if they had it on ebook, I would read it immediately. Overall, we did really enjoy the book. We're both giving it 4 stars, so that's a pretty good 24-hour reading vlog. Everything that we read, we've given 4 stars. That's pretty much it for this Galentine's Day readathon though. I love doing this every year. I think we need to uphold this tradition. Let us know down in the comments if you're reading lots of romance books this month, if you're gonna have a Galentine's or Valentine's Day celebration of your own.
Make sure to join our Literal Besties Book Club. This month we are reading The Favorites, and I keep seeing so many good things about it. This is probably going to be the next book that I start. So make sure to join if you haven't already. We will have that linked in the description.
Also in the description box will be all of our bookish social media links. Please go follow those. We actually are being super active right now on all the platforms, so make sure to check those out. Also make sure to check out Izzy's small business if you are in the Houston area. It's Sweet Vibes Pop Co on Instagram. Make sure to go support her. She's so sweet. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you guys next time. We got some boom chicka pop. I think I'm not getting into my thoughts on the snacks.
Oh
We're just
my
gonna show
God.
it. Amanda can't remember if it's about the same couples in Blackout, so now I'm like very interested to see.
I should have read Whiteout sooner.
Yeah.
So you gotta read it fast before the little brain forgets.
Before your little tiny brain. Hey.
And his girlfriend, I don't know why I can't say her name. It's like Alof or something.
They say the pronunciation in here.
Yeah.
Wait, her name is insane.
I know.
It's like not at all what I thought it was.
But I said it like how it's spelled. Alofi or something.
It's
Alfie?
No, that's how I want to say it. Reef without the R. Eve.
That's not how the audiobook was saying it.
Her name is Eve.
That's crazy. Okay, well.
Oh, no. Is this her name?
Yes.
Aoife.
Then what is that? Yeah, Aoife.
Okay, her name's Aoife.
Okay.
That's really cute.
Her name is Aoife.